Hi, this is Mel Gibson here to do the, give you the wristwatch show on this. Kick back, open up a soft drink, put your feet up. I'm here with Farhad Savinia, co-writer, co-producer, and all around, I don't know, he was there. He saw it happen. We were there.
Yeah.
This was our baby, man. If two men can have a baby together.
Oh, please.
Please don't go there.
No.
Okay.
Not for 2 hours anyway.
No. Okay, we'll try and keep it clean.
Yes.
And you do the same.
I shall.
Good. No, them, I mean them.
Oh, I see. Do you want to talk about how many times it took us to get this shot right? Because this is all one single shot.
Oh, yeah. God. It's one shot. We had to get the tapir to pop out right on cue. And, of course, he's a dumb animal. Or maybe he's a smart animal, but he's an animal. Not inclined to cooperate. But he came right into the lens there. It was amazing.
Yeah. Tapirs are actually notoriously shy. Yeah. They're very afraid of things, and if you frighten them and they start to run, you better get out of the way because they'll take everything with them.
Well, they go right through your trees, animals. Yeah.
And they're endangered, heavily endangered species, so we have to be very careful with our particular one.
Hey, he got treated better than I did on this shoot. Like,
he did, yeah.
more ice cream, Mr. Tapir? Why, yes, thank you. People don't know quite what it is. They think it's what are they?
A pig?
A pig, they call it.
Yeah,
but it's actually closer to being a horse.
That's right. And it sort of throws you off if you don't know anything about the film. You don't know what era, what time period you're watching. And
who are these guys?
Yeah, who are these guys?
Why aren't they wearing trousers?
Yeah.
And the tapir would have been the largest game animal in their forest, in their world, so.
At that time, yeah, because in Central America, in the period where the film is set, obviously there were no horses.
No.
Horses arrived with the conquistadors.
Horses came on boats. Oh, boy. Sounds like a pig, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Of course, this was a puppet.
Yes, it was.
These all our guys.
Yeah.
And chosen.
For the bad teeth, I think, right? That's it.
Prerequisite was they had to have like a terrible dentist. And
these images here, these were the first shoot. This is the first
day.
Yeah. Everybody was a little bit nervous.
Oh, yeah. All the guys.
Yeah.
First time in front of a camera for most of them.
Now, we watched a lot of documentary footage of tribal people living in forests and stuff, just to try and get some of this right, because they really wouldn't have carted off the entire animal in its original state. They would have packaged it up to take it along with them wherever they're going.
And the other thing that was important when we were writing this was to create, I guess, an expected thing of what might one think of as primitives on a hunt, and then to totally sort of go against the mood of what one would expect and turn it into a practical joke.
Right. Particularly in how they speak to each other. We wanted to stay very clear of that thing that you see in films all the time with the whole honor and speech stuff. You know, this was very much colloquial and friendly.
Making the guy eat the tapir's balls.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big joke. I guess it's their version of television. You know. What was that show where they eat horrible things? Was it Fear Factor?
Fear Factor, yeah. This is Fear Factor, circa 1502.
Yeah. Mayan Fear Factor.
Yeah.
That always gets me.
Yeah, me too. It's the squirt.
Horrible. Yeah, yeah, sorry.
He was so good at it.
Every time he gags, it cracks me.
Yeah.
It's like a bear or something.
Alle kävor mis baken ju fettet.
You tend to hunt that?
One of the other things that's amazing here is how everything's being matched, because we shot this sequence over many, many days. And Dean's going hard at work here trying to make, because the forest, the light's changing all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And you have the sunny, hot spots and the sort of darker spots. And he's making it all match with each other into one sequence. It's really well done.
Yeah. Well, those are guys with those big scrims, Goose and all
That's
those guys.
right, yeah.
They were dragging scrims all over the place, the block light movement. So it was very time consuming.
Yeah,
Because where the light was coming from was always very definite.
that's right.
But if you don't notice it, it's okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Beautiful sometimes.
Amazing.
Look at
These
that.
shots here are,
Look at
yeah,
this.
they're just...
Backlit. Beautiful
This is
stuff.
Genesis at its best sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the way the light looks in the background.
And probably a lot of this was getting pretty dark in there.
Yeah,
But look how it just pops.
yeah.
Because to show you the sensitivity to light that the stuff has. And it doesn't blow it out. you
That's
know?
right, yeah.
I mean, even behind his head there,
Yeah,
it just that's good. I mean, that was almost full sun backlight coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Both these guys they're from the same tribe in Canada,
Yes,
from the Cree
the
Nation.
Cree Nation, yeah.
Rudy and Raoul come from further south.
That's
They're
right.
Native Americans. But the rest of the cast were Mesoamericans, or from Mexico or Guatemala or from Central America.
Right. I love what Morris is doing here. Once you've seen the film and you know what he's up to,
Yeah,
Then,
he's just a beast.
yeah, he's really funny. The looks in his eyes are just priceless.
You
Like
see him
this
laughing
one
behind his-
here is just...
Like, I can't believe he's believing this.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This part, giving him more leaves. You came up with that on the day. It's just hilarious.
Tate no sheti. Hele bala chache. Hele la chuica. Hana yel gip.
Do you remember how that meat smelled so bad on the set?
It
Yeah.
was starting to get old.
Yeah, it was.
I don't even know what it was. I don't want to know. It was important that this character be singled out at this point as someone a little more aware or more sensitive to things than the others.
Yeah.
And that's why he survives, in a sense, is that he's just a little ahead of the game. For some reason, he has a sixth sense about things.
That's right.
That's what sets him apart.
And also apart from us, the viewing audience, because we can't see what he sees either.
No.
And, so it's definitely that he's got something else going on.
So as he sees it, none of us can.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like the other guys can either, but we don't really go into that.
Right, right.
And that was intentional. He's talking to something that we can't see. So he sees it before we do.
Basha got. Basha got.
I'm so glad this worked for real.
Yeah.
Because I remember you talking about doing it with some computer
Morphing
help.
or-
Yeah. But it worked. We put the guys out there and
No.
they just moved a little to the left and a little to the right, and suddenly they just
right.
disappeared.
You couldn't see him.
Yeah, it was
You
amazing.
couldn't see him until they moved.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary, actually.
Yeah.
Ah, Hiram. Cast for his startled appearance. He's got this look of being afraid all the time.
That's true.
He did it really well. He's got really big eyes. And he looks like he's missed a few meals. Fear being contagious.
Yeah.
It's like it makes him reach for the darts because the guy's acting weird because he's afraid, you know.
You told him to behave like he's the Walking Dead. Do you remember that?
And I told him he's dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Or he knows it, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Be a victim.
Hichak en shiba, tia kuzon te wete te kasha. Le tia yanu zone kieta lushiba, kempata menane we.
It's looking like, what are you doing looking at my refrigerator? It's like, yeah, nice water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 weeks you're staying? 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he goes, go on then.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah.
Start catching a man's fish, he gets sensitive about it.
Yeah. I think one thing that we forget here is how amazing the makeup job is.
Oh, look at
Because,
it.
yeah,
Every aspect of these guys.
It just looks so real, and you don't even notice it because you buy in immediately on. And these people here, these are all background extras, ostensibly,
Yeah,
and they're all done up. So
All from the town of Catemaco.
that's right, the local town where we were shooting this in this forest nearby.
That guy there, he looks kind of like he's just kind of staring in the bushes. I'll show you. He comes back again later. He knew something like 7 languages.
Yeah,
Remember that cat?
I do remember.
And
Yes,
he'd been to college, and
Yeah,
it was like
the young guy with
sort
the-
of brilliant guy, and he looks like, he looks like the village idiot.
this was the day that snake had wrapped
guy.
itself. Yeah, that guy. The snake had wrapped itself around that young boy's foot. Remember that?
Oh,
'Cause
that's
it was-
right. I swear it's the only cold day of the year that ever happened there.
It was freezing.
It was so cold. And I guess the snake, for warmth's sake, wrapped itself around a 4-year-old's leg and had to be pried loose. But it was a fertile ant.
That's the deadliest snake in the forest over there.
Incidentally, the little kid that the snake wrapped around his leg, he lived. No, the snake never even bit him. The wrangler was there. They were able to use their expertise to extract the snake, who was really just trying to stay warm, off this little 4-year-old's leg. I don't know how he let it get there. He's probably talking to it for 5 minutes, but it was all a happy ending. All these guys, I found all these actors and performers. They worked as artisans or painters, or some of them were dancers. Some of them worked in the circus.
And a lot of the people who were going through that forest shot there, and now in the village, you'll see, had never actually seen a film before,
Yeah.
which was amazing to us because they were suddenly so able to perform and act and dramatize things.
All the people in that village. And that was a function of really just talking to them and making them feel relaxed, I think, and just say, just go about your business, have something to do.
This tree that they're leaning up against that's come crashing down, this tree nearly took half
Everybody.
of our crew with it because it was standing when we first built the set, and there was a huge storm.
And it keeled over.
It keeled over, and Tom Sanders made it part of the set, made a great entrance to the village for us with it.
Sak.
The concept of fear as the biggest enemy.
Kak saki. Le tiob saya tiob lela. Tawila. Saki lo. Belko hanea. Lelela kuyo kutikusta. Lelela tsokan. Kaskuta. Uetel nakila kusta.
I love the way he says this. I actually love the way the words sound in the speech.
Yeah.
Hosta puksika. Matasiki chikatalo. Sastake. Yak muchtale bat the bob. Tukilit. Kashilak chibalo. Telo. Dona yan bishino. Utia. Ukton.
Just a couple of bombs. I always made me laugh after he gives this fear about speech. He tries to frighten all the kids.
Yeah. The great Isabel.
Yes. Isabel. Where did she come from?
Oh, I don't know. Where did we...
You heard all sorts of stories that she was on the street or...
I think she's the grand dame of the theater down there in Mexico.
She is? I don't know.
But she had this going on.
She had this kind of
I mean, look, that's-
madness. that was what it was. That moment there.
You saw that in the room and you said, "That's it. I don't
She's
want to see
nuts.
anyone else."
She's the Harridan mother-in-law. Yeah. A cliche, if you like. But
Yeah.
she does it well.
Etsaba. Kaso magwamakitin kuntuling wabil. Bahmalo wakaktul.
Bahashi.
Ichop nusiba alche.
It's amazing how many characters you get to know in this film, literally in the first half hour.
Oh, yeah.
So many of them.
Well, it has to be very clear. That's why I think the casting according to type or archetype even was very... I pointedly did so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the sage father, the cute son,
That's right.
the furry monkey, the you know, the archetypal sort of hero.
Yeah.
You know? The guy who's got kind of childlike sort of heroism in his eyes. He's sort of innocent in a way, but so it's important to establish those types, particularly when you're dealing with a culture so far away and in another language. They had to be clear.
Yes. And it's a quick thing to say here about the set dressing. I think one of the things that sold this whole thing was, you know, every corner you look, you see little details.
something,
Yeah. They did such an amazing job, Tom's team.
The forest was beautiful to begin with, but they just adorned it with this little abode, this
Yeah.
village. And there are villages built more primitively than this still today.
Existing, yeah, in the Yucatan, in Chiapas, in certain parts of Mexico that we in fact found some of our cast from that.
Yeah.
Do you remember he couldn't stand being upside down for longer than about a few seconds because it would frighten him. So we had to be very careful with him on that.
Look at that makeup job. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
the prosthetic pregnant belly. I mean, it's seamless.
yeah, yeah.
Payoff time.
Now, nobody knew about the joke that you're playing here with her, with his wife. And when the crew saw this,
Yeah. They laughed their heads off.
they just, because they didn't know, Mel kept it a secret from almost everybody.
I just went and filmed her. I said, okay, start drinking the water.
Yeah, yeah. And they couldn't believe that. There we go. Do you remember how dark it was when we were
Oh,
shooting?
yeah.
It was night almost.
A testament to Genesis, you know.
Yeah,
I was saying, Dean, it's dark out here. Surely we can't shoot. He said, shimmy, right, mate?
yeah.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah, yeah.
And he
yeah.
was, you know,
Jonathan, it's just so.
laugh, cry,
Yeah,
laugh.
yeah. These shots are from Costa Rica, these big sort of forest scapes that we see. They were just a beautiful country there.
It is stunning. If you want those big vistas, you know, mountains, and another crew off from Costa Rica just shooting beautiful things.
Yeah.
Sunsets, sunrises, rain.
The speech that the old storyteller is telling me, we found this. This was an old Mayan tale called The Myth of the Man's Sadness. And we took what was there and changed it a little bit to bring it up to
We
date.
modified it.
Yeah.
And he's a real storyteller, a Mayan, who was really missing an arm there. Some kind of industrial accident when he was a young man.
And these are the scenes, aren't they? These are the ones where there is literally no other source of light except for the fire, right?
Fire.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Amazing. It's
Look at
just-
that. Wow. Amazing. Dean was so excited when we saw this, how it looked, and how the flames looked fluid almost, because he could open the shutter, so the blur effect on the movement of the flames. He had a kind of a black nose ring, but it made him look like he had like a Charlie Chaplin look. So I had to
That's
change it
true.
to white. It was like, I said,
Like a moustache, yeah. I really love this sequence where the camera's literally moving all the time, you know?
Yeah. Did it ever stop?
No, it didn't. Not once.
Not even in quiet
Slightest
scenes.
movements in it, yeah, all the time.
If it did, it would seem weird. I think we did a few times. Just be stock still, just for the effect of being still. But even then, there was usually someone moving in that shot.
I remember that night, you got everybody to get up and dance in this scene, and the entire village was dancing and dancing on the first take. And when they stopped, the crew standing around watching just erupted into applause because they were so taken in by the energy of the whole thing. It was just such a magical moment for everybody. We just all clapped.
Everybody wanted to dance.
Yeah, they did. We all wanted to get. Well, you got in the middle of the whole thing, but
Oh, I was running around like a lunatic.
Sonnetingwetter.
And we basically started off with a very choreographed structure with people with functions and prosthetic makeup.
yep, amazing. He was sound asleep, the kid,
Yeah.
dead to the world at that point.
It's amazing the leeway you get with Genesis and with digital timing, too.
That's right.
You can make it virtually any time of the day or night almost. It's not just a matter of a couple of stops in this direction or that direction anymore, but now it's virtually anything you want. Dreams are important, don't you think?
Very. They tell you something, like,
Yes, like, hey,
run.
guy's got a lot of heart.
That's a great makeup job, too.
It is, yeah.
It's just amazing. That
There. I mean, that thing actually looked like a dog. didn't it? Great makeup job. I love this little kid's hand that slaps over.
Yeah. You had to increase the sound on that because you really wanted it hard, you know?
Yes, he slaps her in the eye.
Yeah.
Lepeko.
Just when you thought you were in Happy Valley, comes a man with human jaws on his arm.
Mm.
You think he'll be nice? He's not the Fuller Brushman.
No, he's not the bearer of glad tidings. It was so amazing to see these guys the first day they came on set, which was quite a way into the shoot.
Frightening.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the scariest looking dudes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
we showed the film to the distributors at Disney, they were like, these are the scariest guys ever. And it helps that you never saw any of them before.
That's true. You have no idea what that means.
Raoul there, you've seen him before. He was in films and TV.
I think he was in the New World before this one.
He was, yeah. But we actually gave him a prosthetic nose.
That's right.
Because he was very aquiline featured, and we thought, now to make him more Mayan looking, as like a la the murals.
That's right.
We thought it was good to give him more of a proboscis. This kid was in good shape, I have to admit.
He was.
He's a real athlete. And that's what really... It was down to a couple of people, but this guy moved like an animal when he moved.
Mm-hmm.
He had to do a lot of moving in this. All the stunt guys are all Mexican stunt guys.
They are.
What did Frank do? He's not a lawyer or something?
No, I don't.
We call this guy Frank Sinatra. Because, like, if you look at him, he looks like young Frank Sinatra.
He does.
He's got...
There
see,
he is.
Look, when somebody ties you. And it's like...
The visual effects here, the special effects, the ones that were done on set, the fire and everything was done by the local Mexican crews as well. And they really
Chucho Duran.
Yeah, Chucho Duran.
He's a legend down there. On-site special effects, man.
It was raining so hard
that day. Yeah. Oh, man. You'd have to find stuff to do indoors, you know?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be outdoors, but since it was raining... It's good.
Yeah. And here's Blunted.
Yep. Maybe you can't father children, but you can kick some ass.
Yeah. This was a wonderful combination. You can talk to this, I guess, more than I can about how combining the exterior set and the interior set.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't even tell.
You can't.
Now,
Because that whole layer was indoors.
Yep. And yet everything from the outside was shot obviously in the village set.
Yeah. So you had to do both up and down, both in the synthetic set and the real one, and they matched perfectly.
Perfectly. Yeah. The music is really great in this sequence, I think.
Yeah.
It just keeps you
Starts taking on.
blood pumping, yeah.
Ugh. This is hard.
Yeah.
There used to be more of that scene, but I didn't. I got out of it.
Yes. This is one of the sequences I am so glad it worked the way you remember during writing it.
Yeah.
It just...
Yeah. Oop.
And you shot so many different angles to make this work.
Ugh. Yeah.
So many.
Bang. Feet up in the...
Feet on the wall, inside, outside, close shots on
getting
this
closer.
guy. Him coming in POV, then that, I mean, it's just, the combination is huge. And she hits the ground, and these were ridiculous, remember?
Yeah. You don't know if they're going to work.
You didn't know, and then they worked so great.
It's amazing, a lot of these actors, and, they did a lot of their own kind of physical work, This guy here, Javier, hanging upside down. I mean, that's tough to hang upside down all day.
It is.
Do all this stuff. I mean, you drag him up now and then so his head wouldn't explode, but... And then to take all of, the fake hits with the rubber club and,
Gusto niya lobo. Yan ang want ko. Yan ang sutawetelis. Hasting my ditch. Hasting my ditch.
Desperation. Wow. This girl gave it everything, man.
She did. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, she didn't have any dialogue or anything. She was just, but she really gave it everything. Screaming and being, It was Mrs. Sinatra.
Yes. Yeah. See the nets here and the clubs that can be used on both sides. These were designed specifically to capture these guys, and Simon Atherton put a lot of work into figuring out what kinds of weaponry would be used to actually to subdue people and capture them, as opposed to necessarily kill them. Although if they got in your way, you.
Yeah. One of my favorites is coming up. It's kind of like a hook thing that you can just choke somebody out with and not necessarily kill them.
Yeah.
And the other thing, like that hook that goes through the wall of the hut and drags the guy right through the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
That was Simon, came up, pull him right through the wall. It's
That's
like,
right.
oh, that's great,
This is all Rudy and.
Oh yeah, no, these guys
They did their own.
did their own stuff, man. They're tough boys.
Yeah. Rolling around and.
Headbutts, they look real, man.
I love these drum beats. They're so good.
Yeah, that thing screamed out for percussion, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Yeah, that's the choke-out weapon.
That's right.
It's like two things combined. Oh. Had many uses.
This cracked us up. Raoul's look here.
Well, the tantrum.
Yeah, and then
And then it's like, that's my boy. It's like, what? I mean, that tells you a lot, actually.
it does. It's true character stuff. This establishing who these guys are in relation to each other and
who they are.
and they are in themselves. Yeah,
That he's like a spoiled child who has to obey, but he doesn't like it.
yeah. And he will break the rules.
Oh, yeah, he's seriously troubled.
Gerardo Taracena is genuinely one of the best actors they have south of the border. He's,
Oh, this guy? Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, he plays a lunatic. Great. Look at this.
amazing. But the face and the way he
yeah.
uses it,
I don't know why he sort of reminds me of Robert Duvall or something. I know he doesn't really look like him, but he just reminds
It's
me
that kind of off thing, playing it off a little bit. His
almost
tone-
anemic.
Yeah, and his tone is so so just not disregard for the moment itself.
I love this look on Morris.
Yes.
Next look. That one.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like four things happening right there.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Masaka.
Stay well away from it.
Yeah. I love that. Going way wide for that.
Yeah.
He's just standing there.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
everything. It's cool.
It's the only way to do it, really.
It's cool.
The only good way to do it. And this is the voice of Rahat Nusrat Fateh
Oh,
Ali
yeah.
Khan, yeah.
It's his nephew.
It's, Rahat.
Oh,
yeah.
Rahat, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And he is a great Pakistani vocalist.
Yeah. And it's not just, it's years, this stuff.
Hours of practice every day to keep that voice
Oh, yeah,
tuned.
before he could even record.
Mm-hmm.
He'd sit there for like 10 minutes and warm up. Or longer, half an hour sometimes.
Lila Akaba. Hola.
Kushula's okay. Kushula's okay. Kushula's okay. Kushula's okay. Sulak. Sulak.
Jonathan was great here.
Yeah.
His heart's so out there with what he does. He's just so raw.
With everything
Yeah.
he does, yeah.
Yeah. It's really vulnerable. The big vulnerable guy. He's really like that.
In fact, this scene works because of him.
Oh, yeah.
Not because of what's happening here.
Yeah, which
but
is
because
horrible.
what's going on with him.
But his compassion and his but Rudy too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the sadness of
Oh, yeah. Boy, it was rough even shooting this stuff.
Yeah, I know. It was hard to do.
Yeah.
Poor little fella.
Yeah.
I think he was
wanted-
hungry.
He was on, ice
10:30.
cream. He wanted ice cream.
He got up early.
That's Myra Cerbolo.
Myra Cerbolo.
Yeah.
Beautiful actress, really. She's really great.
Yeah.
And she's from Oaxaca.
Oaxaca, that's right.
She's from the Zapotec extraction.
This shot, I just want to point it out because of how the next one about how you can tell a story with
Yeah.
one shot. You start behind the beam
Yeah.
and you follow this guy through to the other side here. It's just, here we go.
Yeah, good.
It's,
Thank goodness for Techno Crane.
yeah, exactly. It's just, it really tells you a lot in one shot. Rodolfo Palacios, who plays Snake Ink here, had to spend something like 6 hours a day
Oh, yeah.
in makeup just to apply all those tattoos and scars on his body.
Scarifications to
Yeah.
make you look like he's a snakeskin.
Yeah.
Timing. Kid's great here.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I just look at Rodolfo here.
Yeah.
He was a pretty fit guy.
That's true, yeah.
But a lot of the cast, you know, they
A little soft.
had a little 20th century blubber on them.
That's true, yes.
And we put them on special diets of more hard foods like meat and vegetables and just more natural stuff. And they all leaned out and got muscular
Yeah.
and more angular.
And they all look really good in the
Oh,
end.
yeah.
And they were all very happy with the bodies.
Oh,
they
yeah,
had.
no, they were like, hey, look at me there.
Yeah.
Because Raul, the main whole cane here, the guy
Yes.
with the headgear, the scary looking guy.
Yeah. Here he is.
He's in good shape, and he's not a youngster.
No, he's not.
I think he dropped about 30 pounds and really got tight. You know? It's good.
And we made him run around a lot,
Oh
didn't
yeah,
we?
oh yeah, running.
His joints, he was always complaining about his
Oh,
knees.
yeah.
He
Well.
said, please. But he did a great job running around like that. Trying to keep up with Rudy was an
Oh no,
easy task.
kidding me? You can't. I got one of these guys just one day when we were just talking to him. I said, "Okay, I'll take you out in the parking lot and have a foot race with you." Kid's like 20 years old. And, I mean, I used to be pretty fast. I thought, yeah, I'll probably beat the kid. He smoked me. He was so fast. I gave him the part just because he could run like a deer. It's some of these shots. I love this. Just the movement coming
It's
over
huge, and the fire's all the way in the
the
background.
angles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. A lot of elements. A lot of elements.
I think one of the things people don't realize when they watch films is the amount of work required to run a set, and
Boy,
and
Adrian.
the AD crew. Yeah, the AD crew is like really the unsung heroes of any film of this scale and size.
Yeah, you don't see them. I mean, they're constantly at it. I think I said it when the screening happened. I spotted Adrian's bald head in the dark. And I said, Adrian Grunberg, ladies and gentlemen, the hardest working man in Mexico.
Absolutely.
It's got to be true.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody put so much into it. That guy was flat out.
Because every single thing we're looking at here in terms of where people are, what the fires are doing, he's got to run all that and make it happen at the right time, and it's a tough job.
It's like, more people.
Yeah.
Okay. Going with more people.
Yeah.
I love this shot.
Yeah. She's alone.
The horror sinking in. Great the way you just catch her eyes at the bottom there.
Mm-hmm.
Ma.
Which is the word for ma. Na means ma.
Yes, remarkable
And ma
similarity.
means no.
That's right, exactly.
So to say no, mother, you say na ma
Nama.
or ma na.
There he is. That's the kid who smoked you right in the parking lot.
Yeah, this is the guy.
Yeah.
He killed me in a foot race.
Yeah.
Incredible athlete, this kid. 19, I think he was, worked with a dance troupe or something.
Yeah.
I said, come join us. And he had a very good natural ability with
the camera.
intention with
Yeah.
the camera.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Oop, here he is. Terrified as always.
Yeah.
Like Lee Marvin there.
These shots are amazing. That's the jungle in Catamarca.
Yeah. And Techno Crane, being
Yeah.
able to just come down on it. And you couldn't even use the whole shot.
No, you
because
couldn't.
it just takes too long, but it's a shame.
But you chose this piece of jungle precisely because it is so thick and lush, yet you can see so far into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you couldn't in a lot of other countries, like in Costa Rica, you can't
Yeah.
see as deep as this.
It's deep, yeah, and you needed to have depth of field and
Yes.
and to be able to see things. But that said, I have to say that the greens department were amazing.
Unbelievable. They are hardworking. I mean,
Man, they never stopped. And this kid here, wow, amazing.
this girl, yeah.
Lorena, I was impressed with this kid. She's like 11 years old, and she lived in Catemaco, the farmer's daughter, whatever,
Yeah.
and had was just perfectly honest in
Yeah.
front of the camera.
And so beautiful.
Oh yeah, no. She's one of the faces that reminded me of those frozen kids they found up in the mountains in the Andes. Where
Yes, that's
did
right.
they find them? Somewhere in Asia. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Like near Tibet or something.
Yeah, yeah. This scene always makes me think of how truly subtle and great Gerardo is as Middle Eye.
Yeah. Even sort of like gags. Oh,
Yeah.
look at the poor guy's hurt. Quick. Has to drink himself. I mean,
And Rudy's doing a great job too.
yeah, they all are. This guy,
Yeah.
out of drama school.
Israel.
Yeah, Israel. He's from drama school. There's two Israels on the post. The one down and the one in front of Rudy.
Yeah.
In fact, you'd call one of them, they both turn up.
They both turn and look at you. That's true.
So we had to find other names for him.
Yeah.
Coco.
Cocoa Leaf.
Coco and Smokey.
That's right.
Garnish! Sech! Maka hach amakalog. Et.
Love it.
Yeah.
Techno crane again. Look at
Yeah.
this shot. Great.
And again, the music.
The river wasn't as rough as it looks.
That's right.
We roughed it up. You know, I actually put some boulders in there to make it spill and crash a bit. And we dug a trench so that it would appear deeper.
That's right. And there's a safety line in there too.
Everyone's got a safety line on.
Yeah, just to make sure.
But it looks pretty rugged.
Jish pa jish chen. Injak nach. Hachuts hapuksi ikal. Nando te kasiba.
So great, this actress.
I just love her. You want to make every film you ever make
I know,
with
with
her.
her.
You know?
Yeah, it's funny. So dignified, too.
Yeah, she really is. Yeah. And look at that shot with her.
Yeah.
Cliff in the background, yeah.
Costa Rica once again.
Again, yes.
I believe that's the Faker hole. This is something that wasn't in the script.
No, yeah, you came up with this just, I think, like the day before we were going to shoot it.
Yeah.
You said, I think they do this thing with
Ants.
ants, yeah, to suture
Stitches,
wounds.
suture
Yeah.
wounds. Soldier ants.
And it's true, we looked it up. Historically, they used to do it far back in, as far as ancient Egypt. They actually used to use various form of army ants because the ant would clamp down shut around the wound and you just cut its head off and there you'd have a suture right there.
And the Mesoamerican
did it as
natives
well.
still do it today.
That's right.
Some
And
of
they
them do
still-
it today.
in the Amazon too. And he's wonderful.
Yeah, the kid.
Carlos, yeah.
4 years old. man.
Carlito, yeah, he.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah. I said, don't cry now, but you don't like it. Try and be brave.
yeah.
Oof. Boy, this is hot.
This was hot.
135 degrees or
Yes,
something.
that stone wall behind them
It was
was
like an oven
turning,
cooking.
Yeah, cooking them.
All these guys, even these guys with their wonderful sort of brown complexions, even they got sunburned
They
on that
did,
day.
and you can see it actually on a couple of them. I think we should make a quick mention here of Ted too, Ted Ray's job, because this scene
Yeah.
is one of the ones in which obviously a lot of these guys are wearing wires so that
Yeah.
they wouldn't fall over. And a lot of the special effects done in this film were to remove wires and things like that. And you just, it's so seamless if you look at it now that, he and his team did a really wonderful job with that.
Yeah, all the falls, all the dangling over high spot.
That's
all
right.
very safe. Looks precarious, that's good.
Yeah. In case you didn't know Middle Light was crazy, here he is again.
Yeah, he's a sociopath.
Yeah.
It's Frank Sinatra.
It always makes me laugh. I remember you were telling Gerardo to look at this whole thing as though a beautiful daisy was flowering in the spring. That was your direction to him.
Yeah.
I love it. And you go weak. Hat.
You mean it just handiwork after
Yeah.
you push the guy off?
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah, look at that flower.
Oh.
That's nice. Ugh. Yeah. deeply troubled. Well,
Yeah.
that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
You know, that's it. Oh, well, next episode. Oh, Dad's here. Pauses were important in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
Kimwali. Le tiol tilak bisak tulak lilov. Tunetin cha aubi.
Just great. Most of it is not speaking, you
I know,
know.
I was just looking at him. He's like boring holes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Jack Hilit Lelo.
The knife. It's the first time we see that knife.
It's not really.
Isn't it? We saw it in the village attack, yeah?
Yeah. I think he sliced and diced somebody.
That's
with
right. That's true. He does,
it.
yes.
So you know he's handy.
He knows how to use it, yeah. I love the way you didn't put a subtitle on there. It's not necessary. Everybody knows what he's saying when he goes, no.
Akachaubin.
Bash kapat kesh.
Konaj! Hakuta lamo!
He threw that one in extra.
Yeah, he did.
Wa aling bolak. Kasat kich beorak.
Miriam's lullaby.
This is actually it's an old Zapotecan lullaby that we translated into Yucatec Mayan, and it's a very, very old lullaby. Something about how the kids will play when the parents are away or something.
Walen pal.
That guy talking in the last scene, Richard Kahn. He's
That's right.
from, is he from the Yucatan?
He is from the Yucatec,
He
yes.
speaks fluent Yucatec and is a kindergarten teacher, and he looks really vicious.
Very vicious, yeah. Very nice guy, though.
Oh, hell.
He's not vicious at all.
Oh, Mr. Kahn?
Yeah. I remember on this, the makeup artists were having all sorts of trouble because the prosthetic part of the ears of these characters didn't have any blood in it, obviously. So when the firelight's shining behind it, you couldn't see any red. So they actually had to put fake red pigments in these ears to make them look real. And that's the level of detail to which they went
Yeah.
to make everything look so real.
You could get busted here, Farhad.
Lati tu paata o jawad. Ma kuch ko obe ka tu jawad.
That's another one of those great moments with Jonathan.
Watu shuli.
Man, I love the profile shot.
Yeah.
And the flames.
Paatele. Stabun sa asiti. Ti mash tu to onan kuba. Obichine to Patecatelo. Yana o Boileas Cheo.
So beautifully lit, and all by fire.
Yeah.
Ma'ako klikiina. Itene. Tokane pakeyo kukaama.
Yanin bisikin we etel. Ya akach ka asan ma'ako. Wamatin kashtash nikte kaan. Yana lelu umabin shiiki yahot. La akaleya aho. Big Duck Jog.
It's kind of like the end of Act 1, really.
Yeah, I know it is. And it's so great how you immediately go into this new setup, you know, this new environment.
The devastation of the landscape. You say to yourself, hey, how come there's no trees there?
Yeah.
And you go, oh, this is why. A big setup, this one. The special effects guys.
They built that tree, yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's real.
something on a hinge that they could drop.
Yeah.
Amazing. Impactful.
I think what you were willing to go with here in terms of telling the story visually of what they were doing to themselves from an industrial perspective and
Yeah.
is really great because, you know, you never really stop. Nobody ever stops to really explain anything in terms of exposition or, you know, you're just watching a series of visuals that tell you a story of what they were up to, you know, what they were doing.
So you get the land, and then you get people affected by it. They're ill. They have lesions for some reason.
They were, and there were periods during Maya sort of rise and fall of their civilizations in which disease would come and be one of the factors that eventually would precipitate the downfall. And who knows where these came from. It could be from a combination of bad malnourishment or lack of
Hygiene.
food, hygiene, etc.
All sorts of stuff ago. This little kid was amazing. She's a little girl from the Yucatec. She only spoke Mayan. She came from a very primitive village. Very sweet kid.
Yeah.
And I
7
chose
years
her
old.
because, I mean, look at her. I mean, just look at her. She's like an old soul. She's 7 years old, but she's like an old soul. Seems to have millennium of knowledge back there. It's like kind of spooky.
Very brave girl.
Yeah,
Didn't know anything about filmmaking or
anything.
had never seen a floor in her life and a car or a road or anything.
Or an ice cream. Nothing.
And here she was in doing all this stuff. Now this sequence with the prophecy, this is actually something that was very true to research that we did that came from the Popol Vuh and other sources. The Mayans as a people were very much obsessed almost with predicting and prophesizing the rise and the fall of their times. And who knows that once you become so obsessed with something prophetic, whether it's self-fulfilling or whether it's genuinely a prophecy of the future. But she gives them a few clues as to what the countdown is from a mythic perspective.
And I always thought that because she was so close to death herself, and that they were leaving her out there to die, that she had some kind of link to the beyond. It's kind of spooky.
Yeah, and you asked her, you know, you really tried very hard, even though she was only 7, to get her to switch into a different mode here as she said these lines, as opposed to just being a regular kid crying, you know.
Yeah.
And they're a little worried.
Yeah, I'd leave too, bud. I mean, it's disturbing.
Back away.
that someone so little could, speak to them like that.
Yeah.
They were very superstitious, and
They would have really believed that and looked for those signs.
or even if they didn't believe it wholly, they'd be disturbed by it.
Certainly would be, yes.
Yes. The lime quarry.
Yeah.
The logs from the trees that get chopped out.
That's right. This is the visual storytelling that we just saw these trees being cut and burnt down, and what are they doing with the wood?
They're heating up a bunch of rocks so that they can pulverize it and turn it into this white powder, which they can cart into their cities and make a slurry of.
Now, this is all a real set. This is all completely built. This was my favorite set, I have to say.
Beautiful.
Yeah. The way they constructed this to make it feel like you have
nothing.
Devastation right into the horizon.
And with the deforestation, of course, the rains would come and wash the topsoil.
That's right.
And the clay and the less desirable kind of growing stuff would run off into the arability of their fields and start to make their crops not yield, be unhealthy.
Because this earth here was so thin that everything would run out.
Yeah. And all to build the temples bigger.
Yeah.
They'd burn the trees to heat the rocks, to pulverize the rocks, to make the temples big. Kill their crops, everyone get diseases.
Here's that sediment washing into their fields, crops. And almost instantly you see the famine that's associated with that.
There were some wonderful faces.
Yeah. And this was historically, genuinely, the way that these cities were, in that, the remnants of them that we have today are these large stone edifices. But at the time, at their height, they had
all sorts of peripheral stuff.
Yeah, and shanty towns all at the outskirts, and the poor trying to survive on the outskirts and the edges.
Abel, one of the famous character actors of Mexico, when I met him, he was a robust man. By the time we wanted to film him, he had very short time to live. But he wanted, with everything he had, to do this part.
And so here they are moving closer and closer to the heart of the city.
It's getting more prosperous.
Yeah, already you can see a little more trade going on, a little more of the industry that we know they would.
There was a scene just in that last scene where there was nothing except for there was this one green plant that a guy was watering, which I just thought it was hilarious to do.
That's right, I remember that.
But you only see it for a second.
And this is where Tom Sanders' set really is shining, because the depth of this set, you could shoot
anyway,
in any direction you wanted, yeah.
And it just kept going. There was industry. It had a meaning and a purpose, and there were districts like this is the garment district, and it was like that. It's really amazing. And these are just some people from Veracruz that you find. They're just look at them, these extras. They're beautiful, and they really put out.
That's right.
Emotionally.
The dyers, the dye makers, and
the goat head corner.
Right. And I love the little vignettes you put in here with, just telling a little story here and there all the time about the kind of environment we're in, where things aren't quite so good. So this is the end point for the lime powder that they've been carrying from the quarry.
You get to see what they do with it.
You can see it applying it to the palaces and temples.
It was also used as flooring in roads.
That's right, they used to cover even their roads with
everything was covered in this stuff.
Feet deep thick of lime plaster.
Conspicuous consumption.
Do you remember the choosing of this pigment The makeup team came to you and said they gave you 3 choices for the blue that...
4. It was
4, that's
yeah.
right, yeah.
And they said, which one do you like? And I said, that one.
And it
they
was
said,
the one.
That was the one. That was the pigment, the shade that they had used.
Actually used, yeah. They used to coat the sacrificial victims in this particular shade of blue to earmark them for that purpose.
Boy, remember how hot this place was.
What's remarkable here in these sequences is that there isn't one false image anywhere, false visual. All the extras, as deep as far back as you can go in the background, have
Amazing.
the right makeup, the right prosthetics, the right clothing to really sell this to you. And that's an enormous job. The makeup teams during these sequences had to start literally at midnight every day, so that by 8 o'clock when we were going to shoot, they had enough people ready to go with all the right kind of...
Makeup team
appliances.
was like 300, 400 strong sometimes.
That's right.
Many of them students. from
Many of them
Mexico
students,
City.
yeah. Many of them
Yeah,
students.
wonderful work, wonderful work. They'll never work on a show with this kind of makeup again.
Never know. Because it was more just the sheer will to do this.
Yeah. No, my hat's off to those guys. They worked harder than... Whew. Look at this scarification on the foreheads. Unbelievable
And
stuff.
beautiful jade jewelry
Jade teeth.
and jade teeth.
Inlays in their teeth.
There we go.
Look at this. Paint, tattoos, scarifications, everything.
That man was cast for his laughing ability.
Yeah. And the slave trader are both real Mayans. But the woman slave trader was our dialogue coach, the most demure little woman, shy. And then when she got to be the slave trader, she became this callous harridan who was trading in human misery. You know.
Miriam Toon. Now everybody knows about you, Miriam.
Yeah. A lot of this bamboo and kind of woodwork that they did to go upon the stone was really great. And it must have been there. I mean, it was there to be.
I love how packed it is.
Yeah.
People there and how deep you can see.
This was almost at night.
It was, yes. Dean Semler, the light magician.
Yeah, and he threw a light back there. Amazing. But this, look at this stuff. The light in here.
Yeah.
Oof.
So these are the murals that we chose that were from San Bartolome, which were a discovery that was quite recent, only during the pre-production of the film. And we chose to go with them because they were so evocative of what we were trying to tell.
Not only that, but we'd already painted other murals.
That's right.
We scrapped them and replaced them with these
because the discovery
the
was...
colors and the images. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, the reveal.
The big reveal.
Yep. And all the buildings you see in the foreground, 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 4 real buildings in that shot.
In that shot, yeah.
That's real,
That's
of
real.
course.
Everything's real, yeah.
And a cast of what seems like thousands. Dancing people, I love the way they looked. I mean, their hair and everything. Kind of spooky.
Now, there's some very detailed accounts of this stuff, this kind of ritualized sacrificial ceremony occurring right up until the arrival of the Europeans. In fact, we have first-hand European accounts of these types of ceremonies in a book by Diego de Lando. But it describes the various ceremonies they engaged in, and specific ones in which there was human sacrifice in the form of cardiectomies or removal of heart.
Yeah.
And they were for various purposes, to appease the gods, to appeal for better crops, for a good year, and so on and so forth.
Or just for suffering to appease the gods.
That's correct.
Just, bloodletting for the sake of it. They used to bloodlet on themselves.
Yeah. This platform that you saw with the head spikes in them is a take from Chichen Itza, and the platforms, the square-type platforms, are very much post-classic architecture that we put in here, because the period of the film obviously is set at that time.
But there was a mixture of architectures.
That's correct, yes, there is. The pyramid styles are mostly classic, and they helped more. I remember you making that choice because it was much better for the composition of the frame to have these high-rising pyramids that were really overpowering the central characters of our story and terrifying them, as opposed to the more squat, flat pyramids that existed in the post-classic period.
Mm-hmm. But we did introduce post-classic elements to them.
To them, yes.
Like the intricacy of the top and stuff.
And the snake head that you see at the top, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And here, this is my favorite VFX shot.
Oh, I love it.
When you see that city in the
pop
background.
Up in the back.
Oh,
yeah. Just for an instant.
That's just for, and that's all you need to make people realize that these cities would go on for as far as the eye could see.
Oh, and there's better shots coming up. This guy. Now, Farhad found this guy because we didn't have a king. They kept bringing us guys from the gym, and they were very nice guys, but they looked like guys from the gym. And I said, I need a guy that I want to know in just one look at him, because he doesn't say anything, why he's the king. So Farhad went down to the docks and brought me back 3 guys, and by golly, he had the king with him.
Yeah, it was a funny day.
He wanted to know on sight that this guy had murdered his brother for the job,
Yeah, and he's got that look of...
He's got that look.
What did you call it? The
sneer of cold command.
Sneer of cold command, that's right.
Yeah, I borrowed that from Percy Bysshe Shelley. Ozymandias of Egypt.
That's right, yes, that's
the
right.
The sneer of cold command. But he certainly had it.
Yeah, he did.
And green eyes.
Green eyes, yeah.
Almost Egyptian,
Yeah. Look at that, as far as the eye can see. He couldn't have been better. This
guy?
Yeah.
He's a politician.
Absolutely.
Who does he remind you of?
Which century?
Which congressman?
That's right.
Yeah.
No, but really, throughout every century, every civilization, there's always one of these guys up there doing his little thing, you know?
I mean, we told him to watch little tapes of Mussolini and the dictator Hitler, and just look at their ugly body language and that sort of...
That's right.
And it was... He's
it's the demagoguery, the sort of the ability to sort of
There's
whip.
Mussolini right there.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just perfect.
And he's loving it. They're both exchanging these looks of, They're whipping the crowd up into a frenzy.
All these people down here, they're folks, regular working folks from Veracruz. They got so into it. They were so cooperative, so uncomplaining. And honestly, they were wonderful.
One of the other things to
so
notice...
I really found out a lot about the people of Mexico from
That's right.
just this experience. They're so gracious. Amazing. Look at, they just
Yeah,
went
that's
for
right.
it. They just went for it, It's great. And it was not comfortable. It was hot.
It was very hot.
Scorching.
We had to have little tents, little Red Cross tents with air conditioners in them so that people could cool down.
Well, the food bills were heavy, I tell you. Ooh. This guy, he's a farmer from Catemaco.
Yeah.
And here he is kind of doing a whole performance thing. It's like amazing,
And close up.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, whoa, me? Like, yeah, why not?
I love how you stay well back from that, The expectation is to go right in, but It's just shot from far away.
Well, you know, it doesn't pay you to sort of focus too much on that. It is a cardiectomy after all.
Yeah.
Look at that town. Chicago.
One of the things that Tom was trying very hard to do was to give you the impression that the town here was always under construction. There's always something being built somewhere, renewed somewhere. So you'll see the pyramid facing this one has got scaffolding around it, people working on it, and still participating in the ceremony.
Ugh. It's just awful. But it was far worse than that. They used to cut their hands and their feet off as well.
They did. And once these bodies were rolled down, they would actually flay them, rip the skin off, and wear it.
And then wear the skin.
Yeah.
So we're letting you off light, folks, no matter what anyone tells you about inaccuracy.
This here is the Guinness Book of Records longest stair fall ever. That was a stuntman who started at the top of that pyramid and rolled
like 80 steps or something.
all the way down.
Whatever it was. Funny when you turn these guys upside down.
It looks even worse. If it can, and it does.
They were very adept at keeping people alive while removing things. They used to cauterize them and take out their whole system almost.
There's an account of the king of Copan being captured and kept alive and tortured for 9 years.
Yeah.
During which time they disemboweled him and removed various parts of his body, and also managed to keep him alive for that entire time.
9 years. Unbelievable.
Mostly it was so that they could humiliate somebody, especially a ruler of an opposing city. It was all about the humiliation.
Mostly about humiliation. There was no mercy on a ruler. The higher your rank, the more they humiliated you. I think it's a little bit the same now, don't you?
I don't know, did they look inside their mouths and look for at their teeth and stuff?
Where did that come from?
She's so good.
Yeah.
She found it. So did he.
Yeah. They all found it. Look at these. They were good, these kids.
So good.
Proud of them.
So it's well known. It's a well-known fact that the Mayans were astrologers, knew about planetary movements, the movement of the sun. And I think the thing that we were trying to say here was, well, within any society, civilization, who holds the information? Who is aware of it? And if they do have it, how do they
use it?
How do they use it? Yeah.
I mean, even though Papa Smurf here is going through some shenanigans, it's like...
It's clearly...
It's a dumb show. And, you know, the educated always... knowledge is power.
That's right. And if you're able to manipulate that information to achieve your own political ends, then I think you're saying something that's quite universal across all societies.
But even if everybody knew about it, come on, it's still amazing.
Yes,
An
it is.
eclipse, it's like, whoa, what is it? Look at this guy.
These shots, these completely still.
Hey, fellas?
Yeah. A solar eclipse looks like a 360-degree sunset, which is very weird. Yeah, that's enough. I love the way he does that. It's so frightening.
I love this.
This shot, yeah.
We stole it.
Ciao, kasut, sastali, tiktok!
Dean had a special rig here with the lighting on the people. He was able to raise and lower the light in the daytime,
Yep.
bring it down.
He had a screen that would slide across the...
And the Musco light.
Yes, the Musco light. And the screen would come across the Musco light and effectively create the effect of an eclipse happening, and then remove itself and make it look like the sun was coming back.
Because I don't know that anyone's ever done an eclipse on film before.
I haven't seen one.
No.
Beautiful costumes. Myers Rubio.
Yeah.
And the jewelry and the makeup is just...
Amazing how seamless that was, just in different places.
Yes, totally different. Now this is something again that we have some historical records for. When the Holkanes would capture victims from other cities, they would often use them for target practice, but we were not quite sure whether they would allow them to run. What we do know is they would hook them up to these scaffolds and fire
Like
at
targets,
them.
yeah.
As targets.
And they'd be alive and they'd pepper them with arrows, different distances, like a target range.
Yeah, there are images of it too that show this. What we did here for this scene was obviously to
Make it compelling, yeah.
That's right, set it free so that it were running.
And you said to yourself, well, why wouldn't they want a moving target now and then? It must have got boring just, using a guy like a pincushion.
Makes it more fun, yeah. And this kind of arena exists all over the Mayan world. Most of them in the Aztecs too engaged in this ball game, and they had lots of ball courts everywhere that would allow for this kind of activity.
Sunene este elo. Te ese chaane es. Wakana halke ech. Veora. Alkamnenes. Alkamnenes!
Do you remember how that happened?
Mm-hmm. The kid with the arm.
The 14-year-old with the arm.
Nobody could hit this guy.
He had a bag of...
He had a balloon with...
with a red blood in it, and he fluid. He would throw it and hit him every time.
Yeah. CGI.
A lot of those arrows coming in, actually flying in, that was Simon Atherton, the armorer himself, chasing these guys just off camera.
Throwing.
And throwing arrows at them.
And some of them are CG.
Yeah,
Others are already there.
that's right.
So they did use their captives as target practice, but for the purposes of being compelling in film, we really invented this little game.
Yeah, so that they'd run.
And probably if they had made it to the cornfield, I would said they'd let him go.
It's very possible.
Just the guy sort of does the inexcusable before he gets away.
He certainly does, yeah. Ouch.
Why not?
Why not? The combination of the shots that you're using here are so interesting, because you're like doing very long, wide shots with lots of handheld close-up shots, and trying to tell the story in a way that hasn't been done before. You don't see the things happening up close necessarily.
Now you try and tell it without actually showing it.
That's right.
I love this.
Winning. Winning igual. Me llamo Humane. Winning.
Raul was great here. So was the kid.
Really great.
Amazing.
This is where he really makes him human, you know.
Yeah.
And therefore more frightening.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've also got to know when not to play any music, right?
Mm.
He's freaked out.
He's great, that guy.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Bernardo Ruiz, who is a woodworker, right?
Yeah.
The carpenter from Oaxaca.
Oaxaca. Cool shot.
It's a good shot too, with our Steadicam operator running backwards.
Yeah. Really fast.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
It's the big bird's eye view.
This was a fantastic set.
Yeah.
Because what it was hollow, really. And the impression the camera gives with the right lens that it's flat like that.
Yeah, it just looks like it goes on forever.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty big area.
It was. And it was literally built on the edge of the jungle like that. A lot of this, it's amazing how much it was created for real.
Mm.
And, you know, we're starting to uncover some archaeological records of these great mass graves too.
Yeah.
In places like Can Quen, which was a classic site in which they uncovered something, a grave that contained bodies that had been shown to be ritually killed.
How many were there?
I don't remember the actual number, but that was a Mayan one. Obviously, we found more in the Aztec area.
Yeah. Like the musical change that happens here. It just goes all quiet. Lyrical. He looks really scared.
I think we have to mention also the job that John Wright has done here too.
Oh, yeah. Editing?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, to build the sequence, you know, in terms of all the elements of seeing
God,
them, then seeing the blood, then going back to them, then going...
No, John is a grade A editor. I work with him with passion, and his abilities. If I didn't say it before, I'm sorry. He's an amazing editor.
It's so seamless, and when you're working
Flows.
with visuals, particularly like this, that don't have dialogue attached to them, you really have to rely on how you want to build
That story and
the
tell
story,
it how
yeah.
you see it.
Yeah.
And he's good like that.
Three days old, right? 3 or 4 days old, this little thing.
Yeah, cute.
It was so cute. It was so young that it couldn't focus because, like babies, human babies can't focus when they're young with their eyes. This one couldn't either. Now, aside from being the namesake of the central character, the jaguar was also a very, very important animal in the mythic pantheon of animals. That the
King of
Mayans
their
had.
jungle. Yeah.
It was king of their jungle, sort of god of the underworld, and had many, many religious significances for them. To kill one, if you ever should do, was an incredibly bad omen.
Not necessarily, because they used to do it sacrificially.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
But it depends. Yes, it did.
You had to have a good reason.
Yeah.
You had to do it right. If you just kind of bump one,
Then things aren't looking good.
yeah, that was
And
like,
they
ooh.
really believe that.
You're supposed to let it eat you.
These are the bits where really Rudy's ability
Yeah.
as an athlete shine. I mean, he's just,
Guy runs, man.
yeah, he's really running at that distance from a real jaguar chasing him.
Yeah, that's really there. It's not CGI. Mind you, there were restraints. He would never have been eaten by the jaguar.
No.
Maybe if he tripped or something. No, I'm kidding. No, there were safeguards.
Yeah.
Many safeguards. But I'm not going to bother to explain that.
Trade secrets, right?
Oh, brother. Trade secrets. Mostly just patience.
Yeah. Gosh, it took us a long time to figure out how to do that.
Yes, it did. This is my favorite sequence, actually. Cause
In the
it's
whole
like,
film, yeah.
I wanted to make a car, like a foot chase, like a car chase, you know? It starts to get that kind of speed going on it.
The collision aspect.
Yeah.
And Marco was a really fast runner himself.
All
This
these
guy.
guys, all these kids were fit. I mean, they're all in their 20s.
Yeah.
They were all fit as fiddles, you know?
Yeah. And remember the day you asked him to interject between Rudy and the
And the
jaguar?
cat? No problem.
And don't look back, Marco. Don't look back.
Yeah.
Here he is,
Here he
not
goes.
looking back.
Unbelievable. And that's what happened to a guy that doesn't look back.
Yeah, that's right. Should have looked back, Marco.
Of course, there was, you know, as with the tapir and the jaguar also, there was a lot of, you know, we had puppets.
Ow!
Yeah. Some of those back shots where they're stabbing it, where you just see the head and the paw, that's actually me sort of clawing at those guys and them stabbing me with their spear.
I love this bit when they just stop, like,
Who? Yeah, it's, whoa.
yeah, it's really a whoa moment.
Yeah, it is.
That Genesis, that is the Genesis streak.
Yeah.
When Dean would open the shutter to 360 degrees and move the camera at high speed,
Yeah.
it would create this streaking effect where the central character in the middle of the frame would be sharp, but everything around it would be blurry.
Yeah, strobe.
It's another one of
It's
your
the definition
classic
of
lines. Yeah.
Definition of a sociopath.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cameras work not done on the Genesis too. I have
That's
to mention
true.
anything that's high speed, you know, where the camera's overcranked a great deal, had to have been done on Panavision or Aeroflex, and indeed even some of the more intimate running shots. Rudy running with a 4-pound handheld A camera, 16 millimeter, and all these.
And Chad, the camera operator, also chasing him with
Chasing
a
him.
handheld 16mm camera, which gave us some of that really frenetic stuff that
Yeah.
you mix in with the rest of it and it works great.
Yeah, it melds right in with it these days. It's amazing.
So here we're just harking back a little bit to the old prophecy, and the thing that's
Little
great.
bush
about-
medicine here.
Yeah, the thing that's great about these sequences here is the sound. I think the sound guys here is just, you know, there's the background of the jungle and the music.
Lete tunyal kaptumen sahak. Le keenin chuke. Yan silik. Zole. Yan wesiktik. Vishin bukin tiku yotel.
I like this next bit. You take all natural sound out and
Out.
just go with the music.
That's right.
So it's cool.
Konesh peora.
You almost never ever cut back to the same angle on this film, do you?
No. So many angles.
Yeah.
Love this. Yeah.
This is Rahat again, yeah. the very few night scenes in films that you see that are not blue. Nights are always blue in movies. And Dean made this one
Not blue.
not blue. He made it real.
Yeah. The night looked real. This was just firelight. Yeah. Look at that.
I remember you kept wanting them to get those fires closer to their faces.
And they're like, no!
No!
So what's wrong with you?
My hair is burning. Howler monkeys actually do make this sound. It's
They're
a
horrible.
very shrieking kind of awful sound.
Like that. Now, you might think a howler monkey's cute, but tell you don't want one on your case, especially injured.
That's right.
Hopefully you have a stalactite handy when he comes a-calling.
Nearby.
Of course, there's a lot of puppets at work here. So
Yeah. As well as real monkeys.
yeah.
There's a real howler
intercut.
monkey. Yeah. Intercut. This little boy really did not like the puppet.
He hated the puppet.
Yeah.
It was like,
So these looks are genuine.
yeah, he's like, I
He's
don't
really
like that
not
thing.
impressed, yeah.
Yeah, I don't dig that puppet. It's... I didn't like the puppet. It came around me with it. I said, get it away from me. And you thought it was at least 10 minutes before the next cat out of the closet moment. But no.
Again, that's a real snake launching
Into a plastic,
into a plastic, yeah.
into a prosthetic.
That's not a real snake.
No, that's a faker.
Yeah.
It's a real guy, though.
There's something interesting about the line that he says here I have to mention, which is that the original Mayan language is actually very much a carnal language.
Yeah.
And he's actually saying that sentence in Mayan, which exists and is used quite commonly. And one of the things that I've heard from people is asking
How
us,
come you put that in
yeah,
there?
how come you put something so idiosyncratic and weird that was clearly not part of what they'd say? And in fact, if you listen to Mayan, they refer to these kinds of words all the time, and it's very much part of their language.
It's a very inguinal language.
Very much, and I think it's a reflection upon us today and our sensibilities that we think that they wouldn't have used these words, whereas in truth, why wouldn't they? That further lance would kill a man if you couldn't find the appropriate anti-venom
Yeah.
within a few hours.
Oh, less than a few. I mean, if you go for an hour, I think you're a croaker.
You're pretty much, yeah.
If it, depending
Depends
on
where
where
you
it
got
bites you.
bit, that's right, yeah. Richard was pretty handy with that bow and arrow.
He was into archery. He was the kindergarten teacher.
That's right, the man with the bow and arrow.
Mean-looking guy. Apparently,
Yes.
his kids will never go back to school with him again. Now.
Now, a lot of these shots, you actually shot them backwards, right?
A lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, to get the right effect you wanted, and then played the film forward.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like with that ball hitting the tree and stuff, you had to get Rudy to run backwards and then rip the ball out of the tree, and just, those kinds of weird tricks. Did that a few times.
And I think what is quite cool here is that this music that's playing is the same music underneath that we hear during the tapir hunt
chase
at the beginning.
Man as tapir. I love this shot. We almost ran out of time for this shot here.
Going down the tree.
And this was a concept of Dean's. He wanted to do it, but then he was saying, we haven't got time. I said, Dean, we got to do it. And he said, right now. But it's beautiful.
Now, this location is also not very far from where we shot the jungle location. In fact, it's in the same state where they have this
massive waterfall.
Yeah.
It's a whopper.
Everybody asks me how you did this.
Really?
How did you do this?
How did you do this shot?
How did you do this shot?
Well, let me tell you. It's called Spider Cam. Just hook a few cranes up and have some wires, and you can make the camera do that all in one.
And there have been stories on the internet, which are true, of when we were shooting here, a real cow
fell over the waterfall.
Fell over that waterfall and survived.
Mm-hmm. But people have jumped off there and not survived.
Yeah.
They come up 2 weeks later as soup.
Yeah.
And big jump. It's about 175 feet. So in order to get that effect, we had to jump Rudy off a 175-foot building.
That's right.
In a harness. Yeah.
It's a really good example, this sequence, of a marriage between stunts, special visual effects, and camera work. Because the shaky effects and the steam and everything really sell it. Of course, the rest of this is all real.
Not all of it. There's a few other jumps that aren't real.
Oh, that's
but they look good. Dynamic. But that is a real waterfall. It's a beauty. Remember Get Smart?
Yeah.
You know, when he used to say something really arrogant like this to, and then the other guy would get the upper hand and he'd say, hey, how about I can get to you with that crack about this being my forest? It's like...
I love the other guys in this.
Yeah,
look at them.
They're like, look at...
Yeah, they're like...
Huh? Like, what did he... Yikes.
Tulaklon Kosit.
Again, another real jump. This one. Off a crane.
Yeah, real jump off another area.
Yeah.
Of course, that's all real.
Yeah.
He's happy he made it.
Yeah. You wanted a big smile there. You just... This, people can't... Oh!
Probably the single worst part of the film.
It really is. It's just...
Isn't that's a primal fear. Don't jump in the water, there could be something.
Something's down there, yeah. And this is actual
these
stunt
guys
work.
are taking the ride, man.
Yeah.
That wasn't easy. You get banged around in there.
So is he here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the mud hole. Ugh.
Again, I have to say, testament to the work of the
Chucho Duran.
Well, Chucho Duran, but also the makeup people. I mean, to ask a makeup crew to create prosthetics and makeup that you can put through water and mud and
absolutely.
jungle, it's
I
just
see what you're saying. Yeah.
amazing. And Rudy
I love the way he's looking around.
just goes down under that thing. The screens.
Isn't it something?
Amazing.
A beautiful shot.
There's an
Killer.
observatory right back there, and they just
Doesn't even look real.
No.
Does it?
No, they did a great job.
I love this.
Yeah, this is my favorite moment in the whole film.
It is when he pops out.
Yeah, it's like primal, kind of the rebirth of man kind of thing,
yeah.
coming out of the earth.
See him reborn of mud and earth.
That's right, and it was prophesized too, but
By the kid.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, how about that? How about that? Must be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
But I think honestly, the visuals here are just wonderful.
Pretty.
Yeah, and he went for it. He did it. He just went under and came.
Yeah.
He had mud in his mouth and
His eyes, I mean, oof. I think he had scratches on his irises.
and he looks like.
The Jaguar.
That's right. You were chasing that flare all day.
Yeah. I kept making him jump. Now do it over here. Get that flare. We just got a hint of it.
I love the way you always said that the most important moment in this character's arc, you play it on the back of his head. You don't even see him.
Yeah. You see it there. Ooh. So private. Because he's talking to himself.
That's right. You don't want to be on the other side.
No. Kind of looks like Gumby or something.
Yeah.
The beautiful Dahlia. And the kid is adorable. I mean, everything.
This is his scene.
Yeah, oh,
He's-
absolutely. Doesn't do anything.
Yeah. He worked really hard to create sort of something between them that was, on a
Yeah.
more level footing than,
No, but that's right. And
than a mother-son relationship. Yeah.
it is. I mean, you can imagine she had him when she was 14 or something. They practically are like.
Dahlia's quite athletic too. She's a
Oh, yeah.
she's a dancer from Jalapa in Veracruz. She's a dance student.
We saw her in action. She used to get on the floor and do the salsa dancing.
That's right.
Unbelievable. That cow can move.
This music cue is
Great music cue.
fantastic. James Horner really did a good job on this.
This is a great cue.
Again, everything is being told visually or completely nothing is. I mean, he hasn't got anyone to speak to really. He's not going to say anything to the frog, but
Hey, there ain't much dialogue after he takes off into the cornfield.
no, nothing really. And that was really always a goal. It was an aim to create that kind of thing. Ariel, who plays Hanging Moss,
He's allergic to wasps.
is allergic to wasps. Again, a great combination of greens work and set design here to create this tree with the water underneath it
Yeah,
in the rest of the forest and blend it right in.
to make it distinguished.
That's right.
You haven't seen it before. And when you see it again, hopefully it will tell you that the man's just run around in a big circle.
Mm-hmm.
Not just that, but traveling from left to right to left on a big overhead shot.
Top shots. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get the story.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I love this build to nothing.
And it takes you somewhere else. Because you think he's waiting for them, but then... Oops.
He don't like thunder. What's up with him?
Talia also had a great stunt double.
Yeah.
Nayeli.
She's a tough gal.
Yeah, there aren't many stunt women in Mexico. And
I think there was one.
and we got her. And here she is doing her.
No, there were 3 at least.
I think,
Working
well,
with
yeah, on
us.
our film, yes, that's true.
Probably 6 at that rate. She was up for it, man. Taking the falls, man. That was done the old-fashioned way.
Zoom and move.
Yep.
I love this. When he looks at it.
What the?
I remember you told him you're losing a limb at a time.
Yeah.
In terms of your ability to use them. He started failing.
I just love this sequence. Took a long time to film it.
A very long time.
And this is an example of the Genesis and film going hand in hand. You can't tell where one begins and the other.
Again, it's all about the number of angles you show in this thing.
Yeah.
Everything is different.
There's a million of them. Sound too. The sound work here.
Yeah, slowing it down, taking it a little bit surreal.
It's good. What you take out, what you leave in.
Mm-hmm. Now this shot here, I remember Rudy was trying very hard not
To
to
laugh.
smile because Gerardo was pulling all these faces. And look at him there, he's look, he's trying so hard.
Just from nowhere. She's the only thing he's afraid of now. Rain.
All that's left. And again, the rain here is the work of Chucho Duran's team down in
Oh,
Mexico,
yeah.
and just making it look like it's raining everywhere is,
Dude, boy, that was tough.
yeah,
There's a lot of area to cover.
a lot of areas. Some of these shots are very wide.
Cool.
Yeah,
Love that close-up. Love these close-ups.
both of them,
Lightning.
yeah. And this one, the taking away,
Oh, yeah.
taking off.
That guy can run.
It's the boy. The boy is
He's having pains, too.
yeah, he is. Look. He loved being in there, though.
Oh, yeah.
When we turned the water on, it was like it was all this
was his
Christmas that
birthday,
happened at
man.
the same time. Yeah.
He'd play and swim around. It's a great shot. Love the water dripping off his eyeball there. Really ominous.
It's very hard. I mean, we realized that making this about how hard it is to keep your eyes open in the rain.
Are you kidding?
And these guys were doing it.
I tried that. It's brutal.
I remember you bribing people with ice creams and
Houses, cars.
houses, cars.
I said they won't actually be life-size, any of them. I forgot about that taper trap.
Great sound job.
Yeah, it is.
Amazing. There's so many different sounds you hear at the same time on that trap,
Yep.
so that you know what's coming. Another really cool cue here from James on the music.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is good cues. All this music is great.
So this is where the story started, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the first thing I thought of.
You said it as a joke.
Yeah.
He says, what if there's a guy being chased by 10 really bad guys, and he comes out onto this beach and he collapses and he's exhausted and he looks up.
It's the end of the story, and Columbus is just arriving.
There's
so.
Christopher Columbus, yeah. And we laughed. We thought, gosh,
That's hilarious.
that's really funny. But you know, in truth, the first encounter of Europeans with any mainland civilization or people was Mayans in 1502 when Columbus had his 4th expedition.
Right here. And I believe it was 4 ships.
It was, yeah, and he actually got back only with 1. He had a really rough time.
Ooh, rugged.
Yeah.
He had a rougher time when he got back, I think.
And so, you know, a lot of people have said to me, is this the conquistador? Is that, you know, it doesn't really matter. But in truth, the first encounter was, Spanish, and it was for Columbus in 1502. When you ran into a mine
and
train.
everyone calls it conquistadors, but they don't know what they're talking about, really.
They don't, yeah.
Yes, they presume to know what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe if they did their damn homework.
And we never even said anything about it. You see these people twice.
Yeah.
Those ships were real again.
Yeah. And by the way, the conquistador was the set designer.
Tom Saunders.
And the Franciscan
was Simon
Atherton, the weapon guy.
The weapons master, yeah.
And that's not a real baby. Okay.
But really the thing here is Dahlia's look. Where did she find that? That's amazing.
Beautiful.
That's just amazing.
That's a real baby.
That is a real
Tasiko Mako Beach Log.
She's really wonderful in this scene. So is he.
She didn't know it, but she has the soul of an actress.
Yes. Actually, what they're both able to do is allow you to read into a lot more of that's going on underneath the words, you know.
Yeah, it's great.
Yang Kanslik Tumbin Chuno. Ko tinako boots.
Nice music cue at the end. Interesting. See, here's Farhad.
That's you, though.
And now, and there's Bruce.
And Bruce, yeah. Ned and Vicky.
Ah, yes. Dean's the man. Tom Sanders.
Tom Sanders grew his beard for a year, vying for that part of the guy in the boat.
We had a bet, but I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah. No, everyone did a sterling job.
Carla with her casting searching almost, I think, something
Three continents.
looking for people.
Hey, you were on there twice.
And of course, all the Mexican crew.
Oh, wow.
With Anna Roth and...
Unbelievable. The effort and the ability down there it's amazing. The grips department, you were always like blown away by the grips.
I couldn't believe it. I kept describing these things. The most amazing thing about this film, I think everybody remembers, is the chase, you know. And the insane velocity with which you're shooting everything and capturing everything. And I think if you try and think about, sometimes there's a guy pushing an actual dolly at that pace and having to stop it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the thing, trying to stop the dolly as it's, going along at whatever it is, 15 miles an hour.
I tell you, one time the dolly came off the tracks and one of the grips, he caught the whole piece right in his lap, didn't he?
Oh, that's right. Yes, that's right.
Lucky he was like an enormous man. Otherwise, I think it would have squished him.
Yeah, no, I know.
In fact, I don't think he was feeling too good.
The grips department, because also they had to deal with that jungle terrain, and it's not easy to do. It's very rocky and difficult to work in. But I think also the other thing for me was it's the most amazing combination of set design, makeup, costume, and visual effects that I've seen anything, because you don't realize when you watch this film, and we didn't sit around pointing everyone out, but there's something like 400 visual effects shots in this film.
That's right.
And you're hard pressed to find one.
Yeah, that's Ted Ray. He likes to cover his tracks. Hopefully, if the action's going along and you're involved in the story, you won't even be thinking that way.
You won't even be thinking about it.
But every department did an excellent job, I think.
There we have the sound guys.
Oh.
Hopefully 19th is the lucky one. For
Kevin O'Connell. He's been nominated 19 times for an Oscar in sound, and he's never won. He's the most nominated man ever, but not that he didn't deserve it before. He's always done great work.
That's true.
I've used him twice. I think he's the ants pants. Yeah, he'll probably get it.
I hope so. And here we go with the makeup crew.
Oh, yeah.
These names.
Look at this. Whew. Keep on going.
Yeah, they just keep on going. And, every single one of them deserves to be there. And because the sheer grit with which they came back every single day and put in the effort is really what is up there on the screen for us to all see. And the hairstylists as well.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Aldo Signoretti designed those
massive
insane
hairs.
Yeah.
Big hair. He's good at big hair.
He's good at big hair. No, but the detail, and thank God for the Genesis, because you could pick up
textures.
The textures within the hair of those women in the city.
It's just amazing.
I remember Anna Roth, our Mexico unit manager, who said to me, the day that we shot the first scene at the top of the temple, and she saw the king and the queen and all the nobility up
Everyone
there with all the adornment and the dress and the scar on their faces and the tattoos and she looked at it and she was quite silent for a little while, and then she said, "You know what? It's not that different today. We still go for so much personal adornment," and that was the most amazing thing to her, and I was really happy that she said that, because you are trying to say some things about how things don't change that much. And
I remember going to the set that morning.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't that morning, but it was one of those days when it was a real big day with a lot of extras, all the Chalks and the temple
Yes, that's
people
right.
and everybody. And I remember I saw little Mayas running around, and I just looked at the costumes and I got really emotional.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I realized the amount of almost perfect work that she did.
Yeah.
And she was so humble,
Yeah, that's right.
And I just almost started crying because
Yeah.
And I think I told everybody that I got it on
You
the
did. You
microphone.
got up on the microphone.
I told everybody how proud I was of them, because it was like, wow.
Yeah. No, it really
blew my mind. When I saw it, it was like, wow. Everybody did a top job.
They really did. And again, like we mentioned earlier, the AD crew could be mentioned again in those sequences. Because organizing people who've never been in front of a camera before, and hundreds of them at that.
They were like hamsters on wheels.
Running.
Like,
and you used every trick in the book, including music and trying to get them to react to what we were playing, extraordinarily lewd Mexican pop songs.
Yeah, soccer songs.
Football
favorites.
To get them all to react the right way, to get the reaction we wanted from them.
And, generally speaking, the Mexican people are quite shy, really, aren't they? They're quite reserved. But, man, once they get the point, once they get going.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
They give it everything. It was like really. Yeah, the work ethic is huge.
I only realized when I looked at the credits of this film that we were a multinational shoot. It didn't quite hit me
Yeah.
that we shot, in Costa Rica and some things in the UK and some things in Ted Ray's backyard
Yes.
in the United States.
Yes. Yes. There's even a macro shot of my ingrown toenail. I bet
That's
you
true.
Mostly in Veracruz.
Yeah.
And the people and the governor of Veracruz are
the
really
states
great
of
to us.
Veracruz,
It's
yeah.
amazing. I think we were the only show where... Oh, never mind. I won't say that. Spider Cam. Whew. Color by Deluxe. Don't you love saying that?
I do.
Color by Deluxe. Say it.
Not the way you're saying it.
No, come on. Color by Deluxe.
I'm never going to be that good.
No. Well, at least say SDDS.
SDDS.
That sucked. And as my agent would say, distributed by Buena Vista Pictures. There you go.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh,
Oh, that's the Touchstone logo.
I thought there was a hole in the screen.
No.
Uh,
And then I think Icon's next.
Oh.
There it is.
Let's applaud or something.